Chapter 2. The Serpent's Warning. Dressed Tupan and Koya Mata dressed as nobles. The night after his father's funeral, Tupan Amaru stood on his family's terrace, watching the city below. The air carried the scent of burning copal, but unease gnawed at him. The truth remained hidden, buried in deception. A rustling in the darkness made him turn, hand on his dagger. From the shadows emerged Yachai, a priest of the Sun Temple and his father's trusted advisor. His usually calm face was lined with worry. "My lord," Yachai whispered, "the gods have sent a warning." Tupan tensed. "What warning?" "The night before your father's death, a serpent coiled around the golden staff of Inti, a sign of betrayal. Now the temple flames flicker as if disturbed by unseen forces." Tupan frowned. "You believe the sons of the Condor did this?" Yachai hesitated. "The danger is closer than we think. Not all who serve the Sapa Inca are loyal. Your father may have uncovered something that cost him his life." A chill ran through Tupan. His father had been cautious, a master of diplomacy. If he had found treachery, the enemy was not in the shadows, but among them. Koya Mata appeared in the doorway, silver robes glimmering in the dim light. Her face was troubled. "Tupan, I had another vision." He turned to her, his pulse quickening. "What did you see?" She closed her eyes. A jaguar in the temple, blood on its fangs, and the sun swallowed by darkness. Silence fell. The gods did not send omens lightly. Tupan gripped his dagger. Morning was over. Dress all Tupan and Koya Mata as young nobles. The days that followed were thick with suspicion. Tupan began to probe the inner circles of his father's advisors, and disturbing truths emerged. Lord Aukaipata had been investigating trade irregularities. Grain meant for the commoners had been vanishing, only to reappear in private storehouses of high-ranking nobles. More troubling were the names implicated: Aya Manco, general of the Southern Guard, and Mama Sumak, a noblewoman known for her influence in the Moon Temple. Tupan's anger simmered. His father had uncovered the corruption of allies trusted by the Sapa Inca himself. These were not mere misdeeds, they were seeds of civil unrest, carefully planted to fracture the unity of the highlands. And Koya Mata, her role deepened. Once revered as a vessel of divine vision, she was now drawn into the storm of court intrigue. Mama Sumak, her mentor and spiritual mother, began to grow distant. Mata overheard whispers in the temple corridors, claims that her visions were false, her bond to Mama Quilla severed. It was no longer safe to trust even those in sacred robes. She confronted Sumak one evening in the Garden of Lunar Stones. "You knew my vision warned of betrayal," Koya Mata said, "and yet you said nothing. Why?" Sumak's eyes flashed with veiled contempt. "You are young. Visions can be shaped, used. What you saw may yet come to pass, but whose blood stains the temple and whose sun is swallowed is a matter of interpretation." Koya Mata felt the sting of truth in those words. Her visions had never been this clear, nor so cruel. She saw not only jaguars and eclipses, but the faces of those she loved, twisted in agony. Her gift had become a burden, one that might cost her everything. Tupan and Mata met in secret that night beneath the moonlight. The mountains loomed around them, silent sentinels. "They're turning on you," Tupan said, "even the temple." "And your council conspires," Mata replied. "This is bigger than us. They seek to unmake the empire from within." Tupan looked at her, eyes hardened. "Then we stand together, not as pawns, but as warriors." Their hands found each other's. Above them, the moon passed across the stars, veiled by the drifting smoke of rituals, and below, the city stirred restlessly in its sleep. Tupan Amaru and Koya Mata must fight for their survival, and that of their people. The treachery must be confronted and rooted out. Join me for the conclusion of this epic saga. Please subscribe, like and comment. Thank you for watching. Share your thoughts of what may have happened in Machu Picchu and to its people.